What's going on, guys? It's Mike here, the Modern Canadian. We're live at BTC Vegas, and I'm here with Mike Coffey with Blue Cotton. So thank you so much for taking the time to stay with me and stand with me and chat with me. Tell me about the Blue Cotton, what you guys do, and how you guys are involved in crypto.
Okay, so we are in the custom screen printing and embroidery business. So we do custom t-shirts, hats for small businesses, churches, clubs, groups, organizations. And a lot of people have asked this question, well, how does that have anything to do with Bitcoin? Well, 4 years ago, we started mining Bitcoin and giving it to our employees as an employee incentive. And that's totally transformed our business. And so we really started it just as something to be nice, just to give agency to our people. A lot of our people are, they're hourly workers.
Yeah.
They're maybe high school graduates. We had a lot of turnover. People would come to work, they'd work a few months, they'd leave. And so we thought, what can we do to really make an impact? Like not just employ people, but make an impact on people. So we told them, hey, look, we're going to invest $40,000 a year for 3 years into Bitcoin on your behalf for free. All you have to do is stay 5 years to get it. Of course, they looked at me like I was completely crazy. It sparked a lot of questions. And then we realized, giving them Bitcoin is one thing, but really what they need is an education.
Yeah.
And so I know you talk a lot about education
Absolutely.
and adoption. And so that's two of the very big things that we're doing. So about a year after we gave the Bitcoin, there were so many questions. I started doing these personal development classes, and they started with finance. And so we just talked about inflation and the economy and 401ks, all these different things. And that's like an 8-week series I do, and 3 of those weeks are on Bitcoin. So the education piece is a big piece.
Absolutely. It's funny when I start getting into Bitcoin, you learn about Bitcoin, but then you reading a Bitcoin standards book. It brings everything else, history, macroeconomics.
Yes.
And then once you have that basis of knowledge, you can really understand the value and why Bitcoin is valuable. And education is a huge part. So it's really good to see that you guys are adopting and educating the next generation, because, I have a 7-year-old daughter at home. She's going to know a world where AI always existed.
Right.
And I don't even know she's going to value actual physical cash anymore. So
Yeah.
getting that education, because the future is going to be in a world where it's all digital transactions. Everything's gonna be digital. Everything's being tokenized now.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So I love the mining aspect of it. So what got you in the mining? What kind of piqued that interest?
So I was already pretty far down the Bitcoin rabbit
Yeah.
hole, and I knew that Bitcoin was the thing I could do for my people that had the chance of being the most meteoric.
Mm-hmm.
I did not understand where Bitcoin came from, just personally.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did the mining, really, I did that for me. I just wanted to learn how to do it. There was a side benefit, and that was putting the miners in the warehouse where our people could see them. They could see them and hear them. And that was kind of a physical, because you can't hold Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah.
That was kind of a physical way to say, that right there is working for you.
Yeah.
And so we did that. But as you said, without that educational foundation, having a lot of Bitcoin doesn't do you a lot of good if you don't know what to do with it. So we have spent the last 3 years working through these personal development classes. And here's the really cool thing, Mike, is that what this has led to. So first it was Bitcoin, then it was education. And now we have additional employee things that we do. We have a dream manager program that's really cool, because everybody has a dream, especially when you're little. When you get older, sometimes you're like, well, I never reached my dreams.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
squash them. We hired a dream manager last year to help our employees identify their dreams and put a roadmap to their dreams.
That's amazing.
And that's been, but again, that came out of Bitcoin. It was Bitcoin, then it was education, then it's Dream Manager, what it's led to. And so, we had a business, and I've got 130 people that work for us, so it's a lot of people. And we were turning those people over constantly. We had a huge turnover problem. We didn't do this to solve that problem, but our turnover went from 108% in 22 to 14% last year. And I want business owners, one reason I'm here talking to you and talking to all the people at this conference is, I want other business owners to know you can use Bitcoin to impact real people. You can use it in ways that it's not just buy it, hold it, hope the number goes up. You can use it to impact real people.
Yeah.
That don't understand everything about monetary debasement and inflation and all the things that maybe you and I would talk about. You can use Bitcoin to help those people. And that's what we've tried to do. And it's made a huge difference in our business. And so it is a win-win. It's a win for the employee. It's a win for the business, and I just want to encourage more people to think about using Bitcoin in their business to help their people.
Absolutely. Like when it comes to adoption and crypto, like, mining is, again, you're a part of the network now. So
Yeah.
I always tell people the best way to be in Bitcoin is to have skin in the game.
Yes.
So actually, like, being involved with mining, actually holding crypto and, like, riding those volatilities, sticking around for a couple cycles and, like, figuring out, that's the best way to get into it. Tonight, have skin in the game, because a lot of people are not going to be, they're not going to care what's under the hood and stuff like that.
Sure.
But using a transaction, seeing like, oh, I can just send all this money digitally
Yes.
across the world, like places like Western Union or places that send money digitally across the world, they're going to be obsolete. Just like we don't have phone switching operators anymore.
Right.
So it's putting Bitcoin in the hands of people, either in their wallet or having that physical aspect of a miner there, so you can see and like, oh, this is the only way to mine new issuance of Bitcoin on the network, and how you're securing the network.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat. I like what you're doing. I love how you're educating everybody, because again, the next generation is the most important.
Yeah.
And the best thing we can do for people that have been in crypto for a long time is educating the next generation of people.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
this, especially with adoption and institutions and the government being, green light means go, it's going to be a part of everyday life, and they're going to have no choice. And if you don't, well, it's unfortunately, you may fall behind.
Yeah. Can we talk about adoption just for a second?
Absolutely.
Because that's a big part of what we're doing. First, it was like, give them a 5-year outlook, give them some education. But next year, we make our first distributions, because the 5 years is up in 2027. And so we didn't want to make distributions to people that didn't know how to handle it. So this year, we're practicing. This is our practice year at Blue Cotton.
We don't need any more lost Bitcoin.
Any like company awards or bonus, or like if you win $50 for this or $100 for that, we're paying all that this year in Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
So this year they have to get wallets. They have to get used to sending or receiving, at least receiving, holding. If they want to convert it to cash, they can. But part of what we wanted to do was increase adoption, because you and I both know Bitcoin's great, but we need it to spread through the world. And it's doing that.
Yep.
But I've got 130 people that are kind of held captive by me, at work. And like, I'm going to do what I can to kind of orange pill and help those people. So a big part of our thing is adoption, and we've really started that process this year.
Absolutely. And you know what? Fixing that turnover rate, because you actually treat your employees like people and are lifting them up instead of just treating them like a worker just to get as much productivity as possible.
Right.
Obviously, the business wants to be productive.
I did that for a long time. That was a mistake.
Yeah, and I noticed it, like companies, like people always remember how you make them feel, and like lifting people up, and that's what Bitcoin does. It brings people from like drowning to lifting people up and getting out of it. Like my platform, I'm a 9-to-5 worker. I'm a licensed mechanic by trade, and I try to teach people, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not smarter than you. I just put my time and energy into it. And what you're doing with your courses and the Dream Manager, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And there's very few companies and workplaces that even want to even think about that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool stuff. And people say, like, well, what can we do? I'm like, well, you can like try to think of ways to use Bitcoin in your business, or you know what, you can just buy custom t-shirts from us. Like, we do want to sell t-shirts too.
Absolutely, yeah.
T-shirts and hats. And the nice thing is, when you're working with us, you're working with a company who's really helping to promote Bitcoin throughout the community. And so like, we want to get that message across too. We really did this for our people, but we can't keep doing it if we don't sell shirts. So bluecotton.com for all your custom screen print and embroidery needs.
Absolutely. I was going to lead in that. Tell people where they can find you online, on X, any social media, let them know.
Yeah, I'm on X. We're on BlueCotton's on Instagram. Our website's bluecotton.com. You can email me directly if you have questions, mike@bluecotton.com. I'm happy to answer questions. I get on a Zoom call and talk to you about what we did. I've talked to people all over the world about the initiative that we've got going on. And it's like a real passion of mine to just increase education and awareness about Bitcoin. So,
all right, guys, you're here to hear first. Thank you so much for
appreciate it,
talking
man.
with me. And we'll see maybe you guys to sell more shirts today. What's your favorite design that you have?
Well, my favorite design is this one.
That's the one.
Because that's got my company name on it. But your favorite design probably has your company name on it. And we can make those for you.
That's at BlueCon. Thank you so much for sitting talking with me. We'll see you guys next.
Absolutely.
See you guys in the next video.
Appreciate it.